Hi YouTube. This is a tutorial on how to keep the dry goods in your kitchen fresh, clean, and free from pests. A very simple solution is to put the dry goods in glass jars. This has a number of purposes. First of all, you can easily monitor the levels of the goods in your kitchen. You can see exactly how much is left and how much isn't. It's kind of like a library. So these jars are just put on a shelf. And the second reason is because these jars are airtight, you don't have to use these jars, you can use any other type of jars as well. The food stays fresh. And thirdly, the jars keep the food free from dust and from humidity. And fourthly, they also, and most importantly, these jars keep the food pest free. The reason is because cockroaches cannot, and other bugs, whatever else is crawling around, cannot get through a sealed glass jar. It's impossible. Also, mice and rats and other animals cannot bite through glass. It's impossible for them to do. So there's one more thing I'd like to suggest is if you have dry goods, say from a health food store or somewhere else, you put them in a freezer for a couple of days. It's very, very cold in this freezer, and then if these dry goods have little insect eggs in them, which you can't see with your naked eye, then these insect eggs are destroyed by the freezing process. And after a couple of days, you put the food in the glass jars, and this then stops any bugs from hatching, because sometimes you can get bugs inside a glass jar, but that's because there were already eggs there in the first place, and then they hatch. But if they're frozen, then the eggs are all dead, and nothing will ever hatch, no moths or anything else like that. This is sort of like a food library. The food is here and you can immediately at a glance see what's in stock and what isn't, which is very convenient. Then just buy the food in bulk and put it in the jars and save yourself a bunch of money. The best place to get these jars is probably from a restaurant. Jars like this are sometimes used to store tomato sauce or olives or some sort of a good, and then the restaurant discards them and doesn't want them. Sometimes the restaurants use glass, but sometimes they use plastic. You can also use any other type of sealed glass jar, but a bigger jar is better because you can put more stuff in them. Also, you need to make some sort of a shelf system which has to be securely anchored to put these jars on. If you want, you can also use some tape and label the jars, and you know exactly what's inside the jars. It's actually a pretty visually attractive system. As you can see, this is a glass jar, and it would be impossible for a mouse to get through, or a rat, or a bug. Impossible. And it just has a sealed lid like this. And then see, you just put the stuff inside the glass jar, make sure it's being cleaned properly. And then use the stuff from the jar, and then just put the lid back on top like that. And then put it back in the shelf. That's all that it takes. As you can see, these jars here, I'm a little low on oats, and it's very obvious. And then I just go to the bulk food store somewhere and I just put some more oats in there, and my supply is, I'm resupplied. These glass jars are also watertight, which is good too. So I guess if there's a flood or something, which is unlikely, then this is also a positive feature of a glass jar. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.